Hey guys, this is Mycket, just going to do the latest version of R2tK, just helps with the last three bases here, at least a few reviews. There's a lot of different ways to do this. So far people haven't had too much trouble. Certainly the beginning of these bases up until these last few are really not that hard because the layouts are just not well thought through in most cases and pretty easy to beat. If you're having trouble with them, it might be because you're going about it the wrong way, so just ask somebody, because there's some, most of these, there's a pretty easy way in. They leave a lot of breadcrumbs or trails to be able to get in through. So anyways, just going to hit the last three here. You always have to pay attention to level 12 Sentinel, no matter what they're set up, and then a level 14. So let's go through and battle this. I have taken a quick peek at each one of these. I don't know 100% sure of which way I'm going to go about it, but I at least got an idea of whether or not they were going to be something that was going to be way beyond the normal sort of thing or not. This one, here we go, Stronghold 12, and then looking then for the towers. We've got the Cursed Tower, we've got the Crippling Poison Tower. I do not find the Crippling Poison Tower all that difficult to deal with. These are so far away from the SH that, remember, the goal is not to wipe the whole thing out necessarily. That would be good too, but it's just to get into the SH. To me, the biggest problem is probably that one, because there's no buildings. They're going to funnel so easily into this. I'll just come from the backside with 4-Veil and block myself out with that, and I'll take down that SH before these even start to shoot me. So go through here, drop kind of my normal way of doing this. I vary it slightly based on certain things, but that's pretty straightforward for this one, not too hard. And I will probably bring my dragon in right away. That I kind of watch on this. If I bring in my guys and then bring the dragon in, this isn't going to shoot him much. That'll go right for the dragon, so you have to kind of watch it. So not a big deal. I'll just bring these in, drop these down. Don't need any boosts. I'll wait for this to get in just a second. Now I like to, when I'm waiting on this, I like to kind of drop it right about now. It doesn't have to be dropped because it will debuff it, but I like to do that because then they just never get stopped. Plus it takes a little bit of that early on damage, because by the time I get up here I'm going to be able to use it again. Don't even really need to, but I will, just because, for good measure. My dragon's getting hit, but not a big deal. Okay, finally that Cursed Tower hits on the right side. There are just so many guys that it can't do anything about it. So just throw this on for good measure and kind of fast forward through this. Okay, so for what it's worth, that's the easy way to go about it. Okay, I'm just going to quit out of there because you still get the victory. Move on, just for time expediency. Base number 9. All right, let's battle against Nakums 33. Or Nakums, or something like that. All right, 12. So we're looking then for this is going to be simple. You've got 2 of the freeze towers there, and then 1 of those. So it's just going to be easy as long as you don't have any problems funneling your troops, which you shouldn't have any trouble with this whatsoever. It's just going to be simple. Going to, just for good measure, going to throw my dragon out here just to be able to get up a little bit ahead of speed here, and then I'm just going to drop this down, and they're just going to go walk right in. There is this one builder hut out there, but they're not going to go over that far. Drop that down just to kind of do a little protection. The dragon is making his way in there. I may get frozen for just a second here, we'll see. Yeah, but then I get to throw that down there. Pretty straightforward. I'll bring that dragon over here just to kind of finish this up. One thing I'm just kind of keeping my eye on is when exactly those come down. One of the things with 4-Veil that probably almost everybody watching this would know, but is that if you drop that down, like I'll just do it for now, just for kicks, you just waste it if it even gets like 2 people but doesn't get anybody else. So it's just not even worth doing. So like if it's going right now on them, if I drop it again, it's not going to take any effect on them. But if there's somebody in there that it had an effect on, it would drop the whole thing for 2 people or whatever it is. So you want to time it right and kind of wait. All right, so victory on that. If you're having a little more trouble getting in here than this or some of the other replays you see, you have to take into consideration the level of people's paladins, people's soldiers, all their troops, and maybe they're healing faster, so maybe you have to think about putting a boost in there to be able to bring in one more soldier, and you can supplement with a paladin or bring in a paladin or whatever. All right, so this one I'm going to go just press the battle, go in here brazenly. This one I at least scouted out a little bit to take a look at it. I think the key with an SH-14 that has a flare tower is the use of spells. Oopsie, I almost pressed a couple things there by mistake. Is the use of spells. Every time you use a spell, this is going to get stronger, that flare tower, and then once you get in that range, which will clip you unless you're coming in from the top side, this is still a pretty poor setup, I think anyways, for me, because I like Fourveil. But you've got these 3 towers here. That doesn't provide any sort of protection. This provides a little protection from this right side, but if you just go in there and you just use this frost shield, it's going to be pretty straightforward. The trick to this one will be trying to get in there without using that frost shield too much, because every time you do that, this powers up and then it can really start to fry your guys. Now, so the trick is you either want to do one of 2 things. Either you want to come in from the north and then kind of traverse through these guys down to here. That would be optimum. However, that could prove a little tricky. Your guys are going to be being frozen by 3 different people here, and I may get to use a frost shield, but then my guys may be wandering, and then you can get to the point where your guys will not move even an inch because they're getting, if they hit at different times, they can get frozen, and then they can't even move to be able to take them down. So I think the way to go about this one is to probably hit in through this weakness over here and try and walk in as far as it'll let me walk, take that puppy down, and then go ahead and use one of the frost shields when I get just about in this range of this flare tower. It will zap some of my guys, but it'll keep me safe from that, and that guy's way over there, so he's not going to do any damage. That might clip me just a little bit, but if I wait long enough to bring in my dragon so he doesn't get hit by this, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. So let's give this a try. I'm going to try and see if I can pull it off without the Kingdom Portal. As I've said before and things, I try and do it if I can do it without that, because that way, in theory, if somebody's a lower SH or their troops aren't upgraded as much, that can be the extra boost that they need to be able to do a comparable attack. All right, so let's bring this in. This guy is in range there, so I don't want to bring my dragon in early. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a simple drop here. I want this guy to go here and then down to this one. So I'm going to drop him on this side, and it's possible he may kind of wander and go in towards this watchtower, but hopefully he'll wander over this way, and we'll see what happens. All right, so let's place one of these down, and then I'm going to place down a little healing, see if I can, how far I can get these guys in. If they can break through on this one first, maybe some of them will wander this way. A little more than I wanted to went up that way. I can go ahead and bring this dragon in here now, do a little damage, try and see if I can get into that conduit. Try not to use my spells if I can help it. My dragon is not helping a bit here. All right, once I take down that conduit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place this in here and bring my dragon over into the middle there. And hopefully I can do a little damage there. Just enough. See, they're still under that 1 spell frost shield. And so I was able to maximize use of that without having to use another spell. All right, and so that just falls there. And then after this, you're just dropping things on them just to kind of show it's in your face, and there you are. All right, pretty straightforward. So let me just kind of close this one up here. Not too bad, but if you're having a little difficulty, hopefully this helps a little bit. Defeated the king. Always a nice little end screen there. Anyways, we've had quite a few people go through and do this already, but lots more to go. So hopefully this is helpful to somebody. But again, this is Mycket with One Kingdom. Make sure that you like and subscribe and keep ahead of your rivals.